Alright guys, I'm gonna bring you a quick tutorial. Check out the beard. Looks pretty good. Faded it in, but we got some bald spots and like a little bit of thinning on the top of the beard here. Bald spot here. A little bit of thinning here. Fade is pretty good. And the head's all bald. Just shaved it a little bit ago. I'll give you guys another tutorial on how to shave your head properly too. Alright, so what we're going to do is fill these spots in, and then we'll go over the setup, what we're going to use. I've already shaved this part with a Schick Hydro 5 razor blade, but we're going to go back over it with some of this here. We got this Tune 45 shave gel we're going to use. We got I have a Tune 45 cartridge as well, but this is the one we're going to use now with the exposed blade on that. Get a close up on the exposed. Some Express darkest brown. I like to use this one because the black sometimes looks a little purple when it's all said and done. So we're going to use the darkest brown. We got a brush, little brush. I like to use this brush because it helps to lay it on there nice and even. If you get a close up on how thin, it has two sides to it, and that allows you to apply it pretty good. And then we'll brush it in and make it look real natural. We're going to use this also. It's just like a little cup you would use to measure your medicine. I just recycled it, washed it out real good, sanitized it. That's what we use. So we got that. And we're also going to use 50% alcohol. I like to do about 50-50, if not 60-40. 60% alcohol, 40% Kiss Express. Oh, check this thing out too. I just bought this from IKEA yesterday. It's a little utility cart, 20 or 30 bucks, and really cool. It has wheels on it, moves back and forth, plastic top that you can clean real easy. That's my little setup. And then over here, we got some better lighting. Check this out. It's a LED, so it gets really bright. It gives you that good lighting, so you see exactly what you're doing when you're putting the line on your beard. Got that for 20 bucks at CVS. And you also got your mirror, and we're ready to get started. So check out the before. Before, boom, boom. Check it out, boom. All right, and then I'll get back to you with the after. Another thing, guys, I want to throw in there. This does stain. It stains the skin. It'll stain your clothes if you don't do it properly. I like to use a glove. You can get gloves for cheap. I got this little thing off of Wish. It's like a self cape. It came with things like so you could put it on the mirror like this. Nah, we're not gonna do that. So I'm gonna just use it just like this. This will make sure you don't splash any of it on your shirt. You shouldn't have any splash, but just in case. And I'll get back to you with the process. Alright, so here we go, guys. We're gonna put a little bit of shave gel. You can apply it right to the skin. And I like this Tune 45 because it's got aloe vera. And that helps out a lot. And it helps to get the skin real smooth. Get a clean shave on it. We'll rub that in just a little bit. And when you shave your face, especially when you do it yourself, I can't stress enough, you got to pull the skin tight. Make sure you don't cut yourself, because the blade is sharp, really sharp. That straight razor is no joke. You can cut your face, so avoid that. Pull the skin tight and use your blade properly. Alright, so ready to shave. And right here we got the derby blades. I like these blades. Always keep fresh blades, guys. Make sure you got a clean blade for when you're cutting your face. The hair has bacteria and contaminants that can make you break out, and you don't want that on your face. Alright, check it out. Now we're back. So it looks real good, right? No enhancement. Just, it's all cleaned up. Got the hard line on there. Cleaned up the inside here. Cleaned up the corners a little bit. Alright, now we're finna apply the enhancement. So what we do is we take the Kiss Express here, pop the top, and we're gonna, you can just eyeball it. You don't have to be 100% perfect. We're only gonna use a really small amount of this, so you don't need a whole bunch. I'll close that up, and I'll show you how to clean that so you don't make a huge mess. And that's why we got the gloves. Now that you got the Kiss Express in there, we're going to take our alcohol. So we get that alcohol opened up. And then we're going to just pour a little bit straight in there. Let me move this so I don't make a mess. Go put it next to the sink so it's easier. And just, I like to fill it to the first line. Boom. And that's it. Then we're going to take our brush. I've got one hand, so I'm going to try to do this without dropping it. And we mix it up. Mix all this up. And before I apply it, I like to make sure it's all mixed in. And the way I check it is just like this. We'll move it around a little bit. Just like this. So, and look at the inside. If you look at the bottom, you can see it's not mixed in yet, because once it's mixed in, it'll just move from side to side, and you won't be able to see all the ink on the bottom, or the hair dye, or semi-permanent hair dye on the bottom. So that's how we're going to do it. So I'll mix this up good, and then we'll get to the application part. Alright, now fast forward maybe 1 minute later, I'm going to show you what it's supposed to look like. If you look at the very bottom of that right there, you can see right through it. You can see the clear. And then you turn it to that side, you can see the clear. That lets you know that it's all mixed in pretty good. And then we're going to dip the brush and make sure you dab it off. We're not going to put too much of this. Unless you have like a really thick beard and you want a really bold line. We're going to go with a pretty faint line. My beard is just growing back. It's about a good 2 weeks in. So what we're going to do is match it up on both sides. So we're going to see where the beard connects, which is here, right there. And that's where we're going to start our line. And don't push hard. Make sure you go with the shape of the beard. And I'm using the back side of the brush. You don't have to go all the way up to your point. And you could take this brush to brush it down a little bit. And it's already. Then right here on the back side, do the same thing. This side you can use the front side of the brush. Just makes it a little easier. Small application underneath. And we're going to take that ink or hair dye and brush it in. So you don't have to put a lot, guys. And look at already, you can see the difference. And then you can put a little more. Make sure if you dip it in the hair dye that you dab it off just a little bit. And now we're going to do this side. Just make sure it matches. And again, guys, don't go all the way up. You don't have to go all the way up, you see? Go right to the, a little bit higher than where the fade is, and that works the best. It's all about consistency. So whatever you do on this side, just do the same thing on this side. Brush it down a little bit. Any light spots you have, go ahead and touch it up just a little bit real quick. Same thing on this side. And a little goes a long way, guys. You see, we've only dabbed our brush only twice. And then even this right here looks pretty even. We can get this spot one more time. And then hit these up. Even when it doesn't look like it's going on there a lot, guys, look at the difference. Little goes a long way. And don't overdo it. You want it to look natural. Some of these guys look like Halloween, like they just got their face painted, so. There it is. So. Light touch up here, where I showed you guys the bald spot earlier, look. And then look, to make it look even more natural, what we're going to do here, you see, look at it in the light. Clean. You don't want it to look shiny or look unnatural, like we said. So we're going to take this hairbrush. And just brush it right in. That boy look good. Alright, so back over here. And you see how I have two different lightings? You want to see it, I mean, natural light is always going to be the best, guys, but getting different lighting any way you can is always going to help. You remember the stuff that we put on the side? Check that out. Just a little bit goes a long way. You got to brush that in good. If you see any bold lines here that don't match any what's underneath, just brush it in. And there we go on that side. And there it is. The beard is there. And then because the Tomb 45 has that aloe, when you have the Kiss Express, the semi-permanent, it is water resistant. It is resistant to pretty much everything besides alcohol. But this is aloe vera, so it doesn't have alcohol in it. which means you can, I like to do it before I do the beard line, just so I can hit it with the dry shave afterwards. And the skin is still really clean and you get that crispy line in there. So I'm not going to go through with putting more shave gel. What I am going to do is actually line the beard one more time and get it a nice sharp shape. And then I'll be right back. All right, let's go, baby. And there it is. Put a crispy line in it. Make sure it's all cleaned up. The bottom here, I'm going to take my Bronze Series 9, clean all that up. My edger, and trim the line. So I'll show you guys that real quick too, just to make some enhance the video. Let's look at it in the other lighting. You can see the beard work, covered up the patches, make sure it looks all clean. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll show you the shave part on the bottom here. I don't shave with a razor here. That brings a lot of African Americans bumps, or not even African Americans, just people in general. I don't recommend shaving here with a razor unless you really have skin that will tolerate it. Mine won't, so I use a trimmer to edge it and clean it, and then I use a Bronze Series 9. I had a Series 3 and I just upgraded, boom. Any of you guys that can afford to get the Series 9, I hear a lot of talk about, oh, this one, that shaver, this shaver, but does your shaver come with this? That is a self-cleaning machine that is the coolest thing ever. You put your machine on it, or your shaver, and it cleans it about 25-30 minutes, and it will saturate it, lubricate it, clean it out, disinfect it, and the whole nine. So if you can't afford it, get you a Series 9. I'll be right back so I can show you guys the shave. Alright, so we're back. I've got my Slimline Andis Li, and I've also got that Series 9, baby. That one I told you about. You could use this wet or dry, and it has a little trimmer on the back. I'll probably do a review on this thing later. This is the monster of trimmers. This is like a bomb.com right there. So here, back to the facial hair here. And so we're gonna get up underneath here. Take your time. Don't be in a rush and trim it and mess something up here. We're just gonna take our time and go ahead and go nice and slow and get that line perfect. And these aren't zero gapped. They're adjusted, but not. I don't want them to bite the client, so, or me. So you can zero gap these, but as you see, just a slight adjustment on them, and they'll get you nice and crispy. Look back at it, make sure it's as even as possible. You see this side's a little bit higher, so we're gonna there it is, looks pretty good, so flip it over. Make sure you don't go up past the line. Just right up to the line. And what we're doing there is just cleaning it up, so when we get the shaver, we won't have to take it so high. All right. So we're gonna grab our Braun Series 9 shaver. Flip it over. Continue to clean it up. Look at it up close, make sure you got all the little hairs. Boom. And there we go. That's the finished product, guys. I hope you like it. If you learned anything, like this video, you know what I'm saying, comment, share it with someone, you know what I mean, like, you don't have to have a perfect beard to have a perfect beard. Holla at your boy. A Smith Blends. I'm out.